Hi, I'm Charlotte D. Millay. Welcome to Creative Soul Life, episode 20. Sometimes you need a break. Hi there. You may have noticed it's been pretty quiet around here, as in, I haven't been here. And I did not mean to take a break. I did not announce I was taking a break. It just happened. And I posted several weeks ago what I thought would be kind of the restart coming back to Creative Soul Life, and then nothing, crickets. And I want to talk a little bit about why, because if you are in your second half of your life like I am, I think you can identify with some of this. So, my break, like I said, it wasn't planned. And as I talked about a little bit in my update earlier, this wasn't just from Creative Soul Life and YouTube, it was from TikTok, Instagram, really all kind of filming and media and anything online, social media. And I talked a little bit about it on how I, had some medical stuff over the summer, did a little soul searching, especially with my art business. And what I really didn't cover was some of the hesitation and why I stopped Creative Soul Life. And to be honest, I wasn't really sure myself until I was kind of feeling the resistance to start again and film again after my update. I thought the update would just sort of break the ice, get it out, let's get going. And it didn't. So I got to thinking about why and kind of, doing a little more introspection and doing a little Googling. I mean, doesn't Google have all the answers? Looking online, so I did a bit of that. And I realized that I was having some of the same feelings of Creative Soul Life that I was my art. A little bit of why bother syndrome. I mean, I spent the first year, 2024, kind of getting in a pattern in the early part of 2025. And I put out, I think, about 18 episodes. And I've got about 100 followers. And thank you very much if you're one of that. I appreciate it. But it felt like a lot of work and that I wasn't getting a lot of momentum or traction. And so it's kind of like, why bother? Is anybody listening? Am I saying anything worth hearing? And then the other part of it was, you hear imposter syndrome all over the place. And I never really identified with that until I started thinking about this. I realized I have a little bit of that. I don't have the answers. I'm not up here, being a creative guru. This is magically how your middle life is going to be perfect and embrace creativity and all the world is rainbows and sparkles and lots of glitter. That's not it. I'm still figuring this out. And I felt a little bit like, why am I up here talking about it if I don't have answers? And so I got to thinking about all this and realized I had to think about why I started Creative Soul Life. And why is I wanted to first use inspiration and creativity. Some birds behind me. So I had to think, well, why did I start Creative Soul Life? And also part of the problem when you get to thinking about things like the followers and different things like here and TikTok, when you go and you're learning how to do all these things and the filming and how to set up these channels and stuff, you get on those loops of, must have consistency and what's your niche and, all these metrics and different things and the polish and have a script. And it just, it felt like not like work. I don't mind the work. I have a good work ethic. It felt like a business. And I didn't start Creative Soul Life to be a business. I started this, and I'm not going to say passion project. I think that word's overused. This was to me more of a searching. I know I had, especially hitting this point of life, especially for women when you're going into perimenopause and menopause, and your kids have left home. Maybe you're on the edge of retirement, or you're getting ready to retire, or whatever it is. There's a big shift in these years of life between like 45 and 65, and you call it midlife, or going in the second half, and it falls during that period. And life changes. What your life has been like for the previous 20 to 30 years looks very different, and it's going to look very different going forward. And trying to find that and make peace with that, and especially the knowledge when you hit that second half that, you know, mortality is real. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I realize I'm on a journey. This isn't, I'm not at the end game. You know, I am trying to figure this out myself. And that's what I wanted Creative Soul Life to be. I wanted it to be a way for me to figure this out, and the things that I do learn to share it, to ask questions, to have conversations. Other women have been on this path, have been on this path before me, or going on this path with me and on this journey. And I wanted to have those kind of conversations, those kind of connections, that kind of sharing where I share the things that I do that bring me joy, and the things that I have learned, the things I'm learning, the things I'm questioning and wanting to learn. I just want to do that. I want to share and have this journey with other women like myself. And that's why I started Creative Soul Life, not to be a business, to not have metrics, to not chase the algorithm, to not have the hook to get you into, and the perfect script, the polished script. It just didn't feel right. So I'm changing things up for 2026. Um, Part of this is some things that I was already doing. I started sharing some of the crafty things I do. Fell in love with making fairy houses this past year and put up some tutorials and demos on that. I'm starting to put some more of my art demonstrations up, and I'm trying to share the joy of creating and making, and share that on the channel. And that's the type of thing I also want to share on the Creative Soul Life episodes. I want to share my musings. I want to share, what's my big burning question of the week. And I'm going to stop letting things like, is my hair done, get in the way. I think that's why I did like TikTok too so much. I would, be sweaty from gardening my hair up, you know, dirt on my eyebrows or whatever, and it was okay. It didn't have to be picture perfect polished. And I think I can do that here. I hope so. I'm going to, when I have a thought I want to share or something I want to talk about and some things I want to converse with you about, I'm just going to do it. And some days I'm going to look nice with my hair done and makeup on. I had a Christmas luncheon with my garden club today. It was a lot of fun. So this is probably as dressy as you'll ever see me, and looking festive and everything too. But so some days I'll look like this, not maybe like this, but close. And some days I'm going to be in my garden grubbies, and that's okay because you're probably watching this in your sweatpants, in your garden clothes, in your art smock, in your baking apron, whatever. And that's how I want this to be. I want this to be a conversation, not a lecture, not a teaching, not a sermon on high. This is a conversation with you. Let's grab our coffee, grab our tea, grab our glass of wine, and let's just figure out this journey together. So that's what I'm looking forward to in 2026. I probably won't get any videos up in 2025. I'm just going to admit that right now. It's holiday season. I am preparing to send gifts to my family. I'm preparing to travel. Um, got a lot on my plate, and have some fun stuff like Christmas luncheons with garden ladies. I have an art dinner coming up. So I'm looking forward to these things. I hope you're having a good holiday and a good season. I hope you have some joy in it. I hope that you have some festive activities to do, and save a little time for that week right before January. Do some introspection and stuff. I'll talk about what I've been doing because I actually started early this year, and I'll talk about what I've been doing when I see you in January. So have a wonderful holiday and go be creative and feed your soul.